Hello, welcome to Different Spirits. What the hell are we doing today? So, literally, some of you have asked me a variation on the same basic question, which is, hey, Scott, love your channel. Uh, Love all the nerdy stuff you do. But hey, I'm going to be stuck in like a suburb outside of Cleveland for a little while, and there's not much going on in the tiny local ABC store there. But I just want to buy something decent that I can kind of sip away on. That's not going to be too expensive. Some variation on that, like what can I buy that's probably gone through a gigantic corporate multinational, has gets enormous distribution, is available everywhere, but is still kind of okay. And so, with that kind of challenge in mind, I recently made a trip to Evergreen Park. I live in Chicago, which is a great place to be a spirits fan. But it does have the downside of the city of Chicago has banned 50 milliliter bottles like these for the children or something. I think it's just part of the war against the poor, really. But occasionally I do head outside of the city where it is still legal to buy these things. So I made a raid on the 50 milliliter sample section, and we're going to be working through those in the next few weeks, I suppose. Just to kind of, so this is like high risk, high reward stuff. If it's in the miniature section, like it only got there because some gigantic multinational corporation decided that these bottles were worth putting in the section. So everything here and in the following videos are going to be super well distributed. Now, part of that, the massive production and the massive distribution means they probably aren't likely to be that good. But if I can find one that is good or even kind of okay, like I count that as a win, because that means all y'all who are stuck in a suburb outside of Cleveland can go and buy it. So today we're doing tequilas. I bought 9 sample bottles of tequilas, and we're just going to taste through them. No second round, no water added. I poured these a little while ago. I'm hoping they're kind of ready to go, and we'll just see, won't we? So this is roughly in order of. So I got like 5 blancos or silvers or whatever they're called, 4 aged versions, and yeah, we're roughly going in order of less expensive to more expensive. And I'm going to start things off with Sauza Hacienda. So this is the. It says blue agave on here. Vaguely, it does not say 100% blue agave, but well, it doesn't really matter, is it? So this is cheap. This is like $15 a bottle. Bottle at 40%. Let's see what we got. I'm sure this has got a score in like the 30s on Tequila Matchmaker. So let's see what I think. So initial thoughts. Yeah, I mean it smells sort of a little bit cheap and neutral, but that's because it actually is cheap, right? Um, a lot of these I'm scared that I'm going to get like that sort of added tequila profile, like the like I'm smelling birthday cake icing. Um, this is not that. It's just kind of like there's some lemon peel in there. A fair bit of just like you know refined ethanol notes. There's nothing off here. It's just kind of it's light. There's a little bit of a slightly floral, just a little touch of potpourri in there, but I really have to stretch to find notes on this. Lemon peel, like maybe a touch of bergamot as well. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell fake, and that's kind of what I was worried about. This does not smell I'm sure this is the full nightmare if it's gone through a diffuser and then distilled off of a gigantic column still. But, for all that, I don't hate this, at least not initially. We're going to see what happens on the palate. Yeah, I mean, it sort of tastes like a halfway point in between a decent vodka and like a, I don't know, like a not so great lowlands style tequila. That's it. In some ways, it reminds me of like a blended scotch or something. I'm not sure if they're getting this profile by like having this mostly be like basically refined ethanol, and they're blending in some maybe more characterful distillate, or if it's just like this is all the same stuff. They're just pulling it off the still at 90% versus 95. There's still a little bit of character in here, so it's but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Let me try one more time. Yeah, lemon, lime. What parts of the lemon and lime? It's a little vague. Again, refined ethanol. Little hints of I mean, there's some floral elements, but there's also some herbaceous elements in this. Maybe a touch of parsley and basil. One more time. So it's certainly not good, but it feels honest. Um, and I suppose I would leave it at that. I mean, I would definitely, I wouldn't, I mean, if I was at a party and it was like this or a bottle of Fireball, I'm going with this. I could drink this. I really could. I'm not going to give it a super duper high score. This is in the 60s somewhere. I'm going to give this 68 points. It's honest. It's fine. There's certainly a lot worse deals out there in tequila right now. All right, moving on. I'll have a little sip of water. We are moving on to the 1800 tequila. This is a Cuervo brand. I think this is Lowlands, but I mean, at this price level, I don't know if it really matters. Blanco tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. And there's a lot number on this, which is completely incomprehensible. Yeah, so let's see what we got here. This is $20 per a large bottle. Let's see what we got. On the nose. In some ways, it smells like a kind of more vivid version of the Sauza. I'm getting some lime, fresh lime, more the peel, like the entire peel, including the pith, rather than just like a little bit of zest on the outside. Lime peel, touch of like almost an allspice note. White pepper. Just little suggestions of kind of vegetal something. Oh, what is that? My brain wants to say broccoli, but it's not broccoli. It's something else. Actually, cream of broccoli. It smells a little bit like cream of broccoli, but nice. I mean, not that nice, but acceptable. That's a note in there. Yeah, a little bit of light mint, spearmint. This is actually showing a little bit. Okay, so one thing I'm going to try to do in this review is not use agave as a tasting note because, oh my God, you read reviews of tequilas in particular, and it's like nose, cooked agave, palate, fresh agave, finish, sweet agave. And you're like, thank you for that, for that fine description. Yeah, this is actually showing a little sense of terroir. Not a whole lot, but there's some character here. All right, let's see what happens on the palate. Yeah, this is, again, it's not good. I wouldn't even say this reaches the level of suck, but it's not absolutely terrible, and it tastes mostly real. Like it's try this one more time. There's a little hint of vanilla in there, which I wonder could be an additive, but it's really not getting in my way at all. Most of this it's actually quite peppery. White pepper, basil, spearmint, kind of vague lemon lime. It does have this creamy texture to it, which suggests at least a large portion of this was maybe coming off a column still. Once you get used to the kind of column still ethanol taste, you can kind of pick it out. It's not cinnamon. It's not allspice anymore. It's not cinnamon either. What is that? It's almost like a cardamom pod note in there, and a little bit of the potpourri thing I was getting on the Sauza. $20. Again, you could do a lot worse than this. I'm gonna give this. Certainly not going to score it high, but I'm going to give this 73 points. 73 points for the 1800 Blanco. Again, it's something you pour it for me. I don't find it offensive. I don't hate it. It's not my favorite, but you could do worse. All right, moving on. Especially for $20, man. Okay. Oh, Lord, here we go. Don Julio. I think this is the best-selling brand of tequila in the U.S. right now, unless it's been surpassed by, God help us, Casamigos. 40% alcohol by volume. I don't even see a lot number on this. Oh, no, wait, there it is. It's just basically legible. Yeah, Don Julio. I think this is a Highlands tequila, an Altos tequila, but again, at this price point, or at this level of production and distribution and, like, I don't want to say manipulation, processing, I don't know. I'm not sure how much terroir really matters, but let's give this a shot. Here we go. Don Julio Blanco. There is a little bit of vanilla birthday cake icing in this. It's subtle. It's not sort of blowing me out, but it's more than it's there. It is present, but it's not too bad. Underneath that is there are some Highlands notes to this. There's some a little lemon peel. It's something green. It's not really herbaceous. What is that? Sorry, I'm not talking much. I'm trying to puzzle this out. I mean, the 40% is really going to hurt all of these. It's going to make it hard to pick out notes, which makes it hard for me. Okay, this is going to sound weird. So there's a Trader Joe's not too far from us, and I will buy their asparagus, but I buy it with the awareness that it will last about 2 days in my fridge. So, but there have been many occasions when I've opened up the package of asparagus and it's basically like gooey asparagus. That's kind of what this smells like. It smells like gooey half bad asparagus, or like 3/4 bad asparagus. But I don't want to say nice. It's not too bad. I mean, it really feels like, so it's got character for one thing. I mean, that's good. It feels. I imagine at this price point, this is like $40 in the low 40s somewhere. I imagine at this price point, a good portion of this is pot distilled. Some of it may have actually gone through an actual like oven. That being said, it feels like the underlying materials are either not that good or not being treated very well. Maybe the fermentation is very fast. Yeah, so it's this kind of cloud of vanilla birthday cake icing sitting atop of, yeah, like gooey asparagus. That's mainly the note here. I don't hate it, but it's, at least the nose, I might have actually preferred the 1800 a little bit more on the palate. I think I actually did prefer the 1800 a little bit more. Huh. Okay, so same kind of, really the palate follows the nose. Um, you got gooey asparagus, you got your vanilla birthday cake thing. There's a lot of white pepper, which is kind of nice. And the mouthfeel and the finish are actually kind of okay. It's just like the flavors aren't my favorites. Yeah, okay, there's a little bit of fennel in this as well. But I gotta be honest, there's not a ton of flavor complexity in any of these, and not the Don Julio either. And this is twice as expensive as the previous glass. Let me try the 1800 one more time. The Don Julio is a little bit more intense on the mouthfeel and the finish. I imagine that's just the benefit of more pot distillation, or I actually have no idea how these are made. I'll put what I find down below. But I imagine that's the benefit of more pot pot distillation. But it's, the 1800 is cleaner in terms of the flavors it's delivered. So yeah, I'm gonna kick the. I don't like the Don Julio as much. So that tells you something. What I'm going to score this? I'm going to score this like a flat, 71 points. I'll be nice. I'll give it the extra point. 71 points for Don Julio Blanco. All right, moving on. Codigo, 1530. This is a brand I know next to nothing about, except like every time I pop in a liquor store, there seems to be like 2 or 3 more bottles of it. So that now there's like an entire shelf of this stuff. I don't know anything about this, but let's give it a shot. I think this is also a Valles tequila, so lowlands. Here we go, on the nose. Kind of a restrained nose, actually. Cinnamon, a little bit of like kind of muddiness, maybe. Actually, you know what this smells like is what is the name of the I should know this, but you know that kind of mashed cactus stuff you can get in like on like a huarache or something. That's basically what this smells. It's that, and But put like some cinnamon sticks on that. That's more or less what this smells like. Plus some mud and black pepper. It's not a super expressive nose, but what's there, it smells nice. Let's see what happens in the palate. Okay. It's mid-40s. I still think it's super duper worth the money, but I do think this might be the best one yet. Hold on. Yes, it really got... Okay, the second sip is kind of convincing me a little bit more. It's got a very classic Lowlands tequila kind of profile. Mud. Cinnamon sticks. There's a kiss of vanilla in this, but it doesn't feel too bad. Star anise. Really just a little hint of like absinthe in there. Little absinthe hint. Like toasted lemon peel. Lemon peels are pretty consistent in all of these. Yeah, this is okay. This is all right. Is it my favorite tequila ever? Yes. Do I wish this was bottled with better presentation? Oh yes, absolutely. Is it absolutely outclassing the Don Julio? Oh yeah. Yeah. Good mouthfeel. Not super long finish by any means. Not even good mouthfeel. But relative to the rest of the line, pretty darn solid mouthfeel, pretty darn solid finish. Yeah, let's give this a halfway decent score. Not a crazy score, but it's bringing a little bit of complexity to the table. Let's give this like 76 points. All right, so what's the difference between... So sometimes when I did a scoring video way back in the day, I will try to link that up if I remember. What is the difference between being shit and just sucking? It's not a whole lot. It's a couple of little steps. You know, most of what is in the liquor store, honestly, is just shit. It's just shit. You can improve your product in just one or two ways and get it up to suck. But those ways really do matter. Like pot distillation versus just multi-industrial column still, or even just putting having some characterful distillate in whatever kind of blend you're doing, dropping your additives, bottling at higher strengths, just having better source materials, which I think is what's kind of going on with the Codigo here. It feels like there's decent agave going into this. That'll do it. So yeah, these are shit, although these are better priced, probably better values, arguably. This just sucks. I would drink this. All right, moving on. Oh god, here we go. Casamigos Blanco. I really wanted to buy the Reposado and Añejo as well, but sadly they only had the Blanco in miniature. So this is George Clooney's brand. It's always been... The label for this has always tripped me up because it looks like a very kind of artisanal, crafty label. Like it's got those little indications of where it's from, all that stuff. Whereas this is really like mass-produced, super duper mass-produced. I think it's Los Altos. I think it's Highlands, but again, it doesn't really matter. All right, this is the most expensive thing on the table. or at least on the among the blancos. This is like almost $50. Let's see what we got on the nose. Oh, dear God. And now the bullshit begins. Yeah, this smells. This is the additive profile right here. This smells like fake vanilla, fake icing. It smells like some kind of goddamn vanilla coffee creamer or something. Yeah, Jesus. God, yeah, wow. I'm looking for other elements in this. There's maybe a touch of white pepper. I'm not getting any character from the raw materials whatsoever. Like it really just smells like a super duper fake imitation of birthday cake icing. That's what I'm getting. Which is terrifying because this is a Blanco, and there are stricter limitations on what you can do to a Blanco in terms of additive. But man, whatever room is there for them to manipulate, they have done it. This does not smell. This smells miles away from any of the rest of these in terms of just like how fake it smells. Even I gave the Don Julio a little bit of shit, but yeah, wow. I would take this in based on the nose. We're gonna try this in a sec. Based on the nose, though, I would take the Don Julio over this. Okay, here we go. The things I do for this channel. Okay, here we go. God almighty. God all $50 for this. For this. Okay, let me try it. I have to rant. I have to rant. I'm because we sell tons of this, tons and tons and tons of this in the entire Casamigos range. Don't buy this. Do not buy this product. Do not encourage this style. Like it's not just that it's fake and manipulated. I mean, it's that it's so badly faked and manipulated. I mean, it's sweet, but the sugar is like just fake. It tastes like fake chemically sugar. Like I would take, Diplomatico Reserva over this any day. At least they're using like real friggin' sugar, What the F? Everything about this tastes fake. Like, and when you look underneath to the quality of what's there, it's just not good. Like there's a kind of ethanol bitterness to this. It's a little bit cardboardy. It's very, very thin on the palate. And the only thing holding it up is just those fake flavorings. God, this is modern tequila, I guess. Look, listen. Tequila it's gorgeous. Tequila is one of the most beautiful and delicately complex spirit categories I can think of. Like you get a really good tequila. It's basically been taken off the still and put into the bottle from good source materials with good distillation, and it will show you the quality behind the category. this is just everything about this is terrible. Everything about this is like even the manipulation is bad. Don't buy this. I mean, even if if you want a better tequila, buy anything cheaper. Buy the Sauza, for God's sake. If you want to show up if you're worried about having a recognizable brand when you roll into the party, find an empty bottle in the dumpster and buy the salsa and fill the bottle with the salsa, and you will have a better tequila. I'm absolutely serious. This is atrocious, and I am outraged that this is $50 a bottle or close to that. I'm going to give this 27 points. Don't buy that. Yeah. Moving on. Good Lord. It's just so bad. Like it's sweet, but it's fake sweet, and it's not balanced. It's bitter. It's thin. God. Okay, let's go back to something that might be halfway decent, actually. Salsa. Reposado is next in line. Jesus. Okay. All right, I'm going to try to get my mind back in a good place. Okay. Tequila, helping out consumers watching the channel. Let's go. Yeah, this is Sal's. No, it's not Reposado. It is a gold. Oh, that is a vague legal category. It is a gold. Actually smells very bourbony. It smells a little bit like if you took the Sauza over here and just threw a little bit of like Evan Williams in there. In fact, the bourbon has really kind of taken this over. I am getting, yeah, certainly some vanilla, like toasted sawdust. The salsa is pushing through a little bit. There's a little bit of lemon peel happening in here. Slightly floral. But yeah, it basically smells like a bourbon with some ethanol mixed in, and then a little bit of like other stuff way in the background, but not terrible. Certainly better than the previous glass on the palate. I'm just staring at the Casamigos. I'm sorry. This is okay. I'm okay with this. It's not good. It doesn't even reach to suck, but I'm okay with this. It tastes cheap, but it really is cheap. This is like $15 a bottle. Really follows the nose. A little bit more tequila-iness on the palate, but yeah. Vanilla, sawdust, wood toast. Lemon peel, some wildflowers, a little bit of kind of like a basil-y, parsley kind of thing, just a touch of oregano maybe, so kind of mixed herbs. And some white pepper. I have to imagine this is like, this has to be all column still. It's very kind of creamy in that column still sort of way. It's a little Little ethanol-y, I'm not going to lie. But the finish isn't terrible. The mouthfeel is all right. This is making it to the 70s. I'm going to give this... Oh, what am I going to give this? I'm going to score this same... I'm going to give the same score as the Don Julio. I'm going to give this 71 points. Which is better than the Casamigos. Everything here is better than the Casamigos. Although we haven't tried the upper level Don Julios yet. All right, 1800. This is an actual Reposado, and it is 40%. Everything here is 40%. I did not pour very much in this glass. Hold on. I hope this video is doing some good. I hope this channel is doing some good. Oh, fun. Okay, lots of lemon and lime. Some, like vanilla, but it's not like fake. I should say on these two, I'm going to say vanilla as a tasting note, but it's like real vanilla. Or not real vanilla. It's like, you know, oak vanilla. It actually smells a little bit like if you walk into a cooperage with a lot of American oak running around. Yeah, like cooperage, oaky vanilla. A touch of like some red fruit going on in there. There's a little bit of strawberry, actually, like half-ripe strawberry. A little bit of that, what is the mashed cactus thing again? What is that called? Oh, that's going to bug me. And suggestions of cherry, like maybe like more kirsch water than actual cherry, but yeah. And yeah, white pepper, something like that. Not bad. Actually reminds you a lot of some younger rums, like column distilled rums. Okay, on the palate. Decent peppery finish and mouthfeel. Doesn't have quite as the balance of the Blanco for me. I'll go back and taste the Blanco one more time. Yeah, kind of a vague, limey. Yeah, it tastes a little bit like a daiquiri, honestly. So yeah, lime, you know, lime daiquiri. Except you've used your, you know, your aged Cuban rum instead of just your straight up white Cuban rum. Certainly some like cooperage oak vanilla, pepper, a little bit of herbaceousness. But yeah, it's not there's an excessive amount of kind of bitterness coming through on the finish. It's not too bad. It's kind of like, it's like pepper, 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 which I'm enjoying, and then it just kind of gets a little bit out of hand. Let me try it one more time. That's all right. Certainly not bad at all. Well, I mean, it isn't good, but it's not the worst thing in the world. 72 points. 72 points. Let me try the Blanco one more time. Yeah, I'm going to stick to my guns on that. I think the Blanco is actually a hair bit better in the 1800. Uh, in t- so it's not going to win in terms of absolute points, but yeah, like this little guy, the 1800 Blanco, as a value pick for $20, I might this might be the winner of the tasting. But hey, we still have some Don Julios left to go. Let's see what they can bring. All right, moving. Yeah, I already scored this. All right, Don Julio or Reposado. This is around $50, maybe a little bit more, depending on where you are. Okay, so you know what? I was going to these expecting like additive hell, just like the Casamigos, and that actually isn't what this smells like. It smells like it smells like the distillate underlying everything is a little bit basic. It still has that kind of like gooey asparagus thing. And that's most of what I'm getting. Maybe a little bit of like field flowers. But it smells real. It smells like they actually took their asparagus distillate and threw it into it like a real cask at some point. What is it giving me? It's giving me Cooperage vanilla again, cherry. Something in this actually reminds me of French oak. There's a little bit of what is that? Really like a chocolate chocolate covered cherry. That's exactly what this smells like. How did it take me so long to get that? This smells like chocolate covered cherries plus the gooey asparagus thing. And there's a hint of mint as well. It's really kind of like a mint. So chocolate covered cherries, take some of those, throw it in your mint chocolate chip ice cream. Yeah, that's what we got here. And you know what? It's nice. It doesn't feel. I don't. There might actually be some additives in this, but it doesn't feel excessively fake, like some other things I've tasted right here. Yeah. Um, Smells okay on the palate. It's okay. It's okay. So a lot more kind of mint chocolate chip ice cream on the palate, except without the ice cream part. It's really just like mint chocolate. Um, Vague herbaceousness, kind of some muddiness. Uh, Vague vegetal character. Really, we're going back to the mashed cactus instead of the gooey asparagus. It's peppery. Uh, in the context of the rest of these, solid finish, solid mouthfeel. Um, Certainly not exceptional by any means, but I do like it more than the Blanco by quite a bit, and really more than the 1800, which it should because it's like more than twice the price, right? So I'm going to give this 70. Yeah, let's give it 74. 74 points out of 100. Not my favorite, but if you can afford the money and you need to buy some Don Julio, this would be a fine choice. I do think it's worth the premium over the Blanco. All right, moving on to the last thing in the lineup. Don Julio Añejo. We sell tons of the Don Julios, and you know what? Based on this tasting, I'm totally rooting for them. If the competition is this, yeah. Okay, on the nose, vague oaky spirit. Yeah, it's kind of vaguely ashy. I'm not actually getting very much. Ash, mud, slightly floral, slightly herbaceous, maybe some like, wilted basil in there. Come on. Little hints of like vanilla bean creeping through. Yeah, there's just not much there in terms of the nose. I don't. It doesn't smell bad, but it's very kind of muddy and indistinct. And also, it actually does smell a little bit like mud. So, here we go on the palate. I think smooth is the right word for this. It's inoffensive, but it's very forgettable. White pepper. I don't. It just smells. It tastes like any vague, young, heavily woodied spirit you could think of. Oh, geez, what is in that? Kind of a little bit of like, I want to say overstewed tea, but it's so vague, and kind of everything is muddled together. Ashy, I guess, again, like mud, tea notes. It's actually got a little bit shorter mouth length than the Reposado has, which isn't great. I mean, it's definitely smooth. It's definitely an easy drinker. Which is to its favor, I suppose. But I don't like this as much as the Reposado, actually. I'm gonna give this. I don't want to knock it too much. It deserves like a 73, but no more than a 73. 73 points for the Don Julio Añejo. And that is your lineup. Those are your options. What are our winners? Well, let's go through. The loser by miles is the Casamigos Blanco with 27 points. Do not give these people your money. Don't give them your money. Find an empty bottle, fill it with something else. Don't give them your money. Yeah, wow. It goes over there. Next up, the Sauza Silver. Certainly a little vague, but, decent, palatable, real. Cheap, taste cheap, but real. And then the what came next? The Don Julio at 71 points, ties with the Sauza Gold. Both of these got 71. And considering how much more extensive the Don Julio is, there is a clear winner in this comparison. And then the 1800 Reposado with 72 points. And then the 1800 Blanco with 73 points, as well as the Don Julio Añejo with 73 points. So again, same score, huge price difference. And I guess the winner on points is the Don Julio Reposado of all things. There you go, 74 points. But yeah, if I were stuck in a suburb outside of Cleveland and I just needed a tequila that was a decent value, and my options were very, 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 very limited, I hate to say it, I think I would get this. I think I would get the 1800 Blanco, which means I am recommending a Cuervo product. And yeah, on that note, thanks for watching and cheers.